I asked her one very simple question. What do you season this grilled pork with to make it taste this good? And she refused to tell me. Not because she was being unfriendly, but because it's a family secret, one that exists in only one village in the entire world. I'm in Lok Village, a place where I'm going to spend the night inside the home of a Thai ethnic family, eat at their table, and find out why travelers from around the world, especially Western visitors, keep coming here. Stay with me for the next 20 minutes. We're traveling along National Highway 6, winding our way up the twisting Khun Pass, with clouds hanging over the mountains like a veil of mist. And just beyond Thung Nhoi Pass, an endless green valley suddenly opens up in front of us. Look at that. Traditional stilt houses hidden between the mountains, rice fields that have just been harvested. This isn't a movie set. This is my Chau Valley, now part of the newly expanded Phu Tha province, following the merger of Hua Binh, Vinh Phuc, and Phu Tha in mid-2025. And right in the heart of this valley is Lac Village, one of the best-known community tourism destinations in northern Vietnam. I assumed that during the transition from autumn into winter, the village would be quiet. But no, there are still plenty of visitors here. And what surprises me most is that a large number of them are from Western countries. Lac Village hardly needs an introduction. For anyone who has ever Googled Vietnam homestay experience, this is one of those names that appears again and again. My host is Ha Kung Tin, the village head and also the owner of the homestay where I'll be staying. He gives me the largest room in the house with the most windows, so I can look out across the entire valley. And this is exactly what I love about homestays. I'm not simply paying for a room. I'm going to sleep here, eat here, cook here, and spend time talking with the family. The people of Lac Village are famous for their hospitality. Within just a few minutes, I already feel as though Mr. Tin and his 3 daughters are treating me like part of the family. While everyone is still chatting inside, I sneak outside to take a closer look at the architecture, and I'm genuinely impressed. The stilt houses here are tall, clean, and naturally ventilated. They stand around 2 meters above the ground, supported by between 8 to 12 solid wooden pillars that can sometimes be passed down from one generation to the next. The floor itself is usually replaced every 3 to 5 years. The roof is traditionally covered with forest leaves, including rattan or other locally available materials. Everything comes from nature. Unlike the highly decorative carved architecture you often see in traditional King Vietnamese houses, these stilt houses have almost no ornamental carving. There is no construction date engraved into the structure, nothing elaborate. And yet that simplicity makes the houses feel incredibly connected to the landscape around them. And here's one detail that made me stop. Those large windows aren't only there to let in the breeze. Local people also believe they can serve as a place through which the spirits of deceased family members may return to visit their descendants. As I walk around the village, I see Thai women everywhere working patiently at traditional looms. And there's an interesting saying here. When a young man visits a family in Lok Village,
All he has to do is look at the blankets and pillows neatly stacked in the house. If the patterns are beautiful and the weaving is skillful, he immediately knows how talented the daughter of the family is. In other words, the loom here was basically the traditional marriage resume. How long has your family been doing this kind of weaving? We've been doing it for a very long time, for decades. How many households in Lock Village still weave? Weaving is one of the main traditional crafts here, so almost every family does it. How long does it take to make something this detailed? If you work quickly, about a week. 1 full week of handwork for a single scarf. The next time you buy a piece of traditional brocade in Vietnam, remember that.
Here's something else that made me ask a few more questions. At a workshop making traditional wooden handicrafts, I meet a young boy making a crossbow, and I'm told this is traditionally a craft performed only by men and boys. Why is this something only men make? Why not women? Because it requires a lot of precision and skill, and especially physical strength. In the past, these bows and crossbows were tools used by the men of Lac Village when they went into the forest to hunt deer and other wild animals. Boys as young as 5 or 6 learned how to go into the forest, choose wood, and make their own crossbows. Each weapon became a personal possession, carrying its owner's individual markings. They say the arrows could be so distinctive that people could identify the owner simply by looking at them. Hunting is no longer part of everyday life here, so instead, villagers now make crossbows as handicrafts for tourists. It's a clever way to earn a living, while preserving a traditional skill. There are no conventional restaurants inside Lac Village. Tonight, my dinner is being prepared right here in the home of the village head, Bui Kong Tin, from another nearby community. And this is where we arrive at the most suspenseful moment of the entire video. How do you prepare this meat so that it tastes like wild boar? We slice it, marinate it with spices, put it on skewers, and grill it over charcoal. So what exactly goes into the marinade? A little lemongrass, some crushed galangal, and there's another spice that you can only find here in Lac Village. Can you tell me what it is? That secret has to stay in Lac Village. Okay, fair enough. I respect that. Some recipes deserve to stay secret. And honestly, that's exactly why you have to come here and taste it for yourself. People in Lac Village have 2 main ways of grilling food. They either cook it directly over glowing charcoal, or wrap it in banana leaves first and then place it over the fire. Each method creates a completely different flavor. And here's the most interesting part. There is no fixed menu. The host goes to the market, sees what is freshest that day, and decides what to cook for the guests. If you're lucky, you might get grilled streamfish, one of the best-known local specialties. And of course, no meal here would be complete without my ha rice liquor. Locals have a playful saying about it. The more you drink, the warmer the affection grows. As the sun disappears behind the mountains, Loch Village sinks into darkness. Small pools of light glow from the stilt houses. The silence is almost surreal. It feels as though the sky and the earth have somehow moved closer together. This is a feeling you simply cannot find in a noisy city, only here. That evening, together with a group of international visitors, I watch a performance by young people from the village. I don't understand the lyrics of the Thai songs, but I don't need to. You can feel the tenderness and emotion in every melody. Then comes the bamboo dance. Visitors are pulled into the circle to dance, laugh, and occasionally get their feet trapped between the bamboo poles. I personally messed it up at least 3 times. And after that comes the warm buzz of raucan, traditional communal rice wine drunk through long bamboo straws. Now I understand why more and more travelers choose Loch Village as one of their first stops in Vietnam. A French visitor told me. This was my first trip to Vietnam, and I chose Loch Village as one of my first destinations. We stayed here for 2 days and enjoyed the incredible mountain scenery. But what I loved most was being able to experience the daily life of the people here, watching Thai women perform the bamboo dance and joining in traditional games. I know I'll remember this place for a very long time. She just described exactly what I'm feeling. This isn't a place you come to simply check in, take a photo, and leave. This is somewhere you actually live with the people, even if it's only for one night. The next morning, as I leave Loch Village, I still feel slightly lightheaded, not entirely because of the rice wine, but because of the warmth of the people I've just met. Loch Village taught me something. Sometimes the most memorable travel experiences don't come from famous landmarks. They come from a dinner cooked for you by someone who was a stranger only hours earlier, from a seasoning recipe they absolutely refused to reveal, and from spending the night in a wooden stilt house where the doors barely need locks because no one feels they need them. If this video makes you want to grab a backpack and come here yourself, hit like, subscribe, and leave Loch Village in the comments below. Next week, I'll continue exploring the mountains of northwestern Vietnam, where a completely different cultural story is waiting for us. I'll see you in the next video.